When Sergey talks about he overtrained and he was tired after the 5th round and stuff like that, basically not giving you credit for, you know, what you were doing and why he struggled later in the rounds. What's your take on that?
It's just interesting that fight's what, 5 months? 5 months ago?
Thank you, Andre. You can use this anytime.
That's the first time, you know, I'm hearing something like that, you know, which was yesterday in Oakland. So you can either believe the headline or, like the way my mind works, he knows that we noticed it. He knows that we pointed that out, so they got to scramble and come up with a reason. At the end of the day, bro, if you want to train less and you think that's going to help you, do what you got to do. We're not buying it, but do what you got to do. At the end of the day, that ain't the only fight he gassed out in. But because he's fighting guys that maybe were trying to get out of the way and trying to survive, he can play that role and he can hide it. But you can't hide that chest going up and down in between rounds. Those are the things I watch. I watch what's going on during the round, but I watch what's going on after. Are you calm? How much are you breathing? Are you standing up before the bell rings? Like, that was the biggest moment for him. And if you can't get up for that moment, even if you do feel tired, then what moment can you get up for? So that's what he said. At the end of the day, to be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, I want him to be at his best. If you felt like you got to do less training to be at your best, do it. Be at your best. Because this stuff looks bad, man, and I don't think they realize how bad it looks. Like, as experienced as his team is, she said, what, 40 years? That's all you guys can come up with is we got robbed? That's it? After 4 months? That's surprising to me, man.
When you say that, take the toughest fights. I mean, you could have gone any direction. You could have taken 2 easy fights or other opponents, other weight classes.
Because I want to be great. I want to be great. And I want to be named amongst the greats. And you know, it's a place for tune-ups. You know, had a couple layoffs. You know, you got to get back in the groove. But at the end of the day, I want to face the best. Like, I care about the quality of fights that the network that I'm fighting on gets, HBO, that the fans are getting, that you guys are seeing. And I don't want to be a guy that's saying, I need to be here. No, I got to prove it. And I've always kind of been understated my whole career, but that's kind of my lane. And then I want to be the guy that sneaks up on them and gets it done when I'm supposed to get it done. So that's just kind of always what we've done. And that's how Verb just coached me. He wasn't a guy that protected me coming up. At a certain point, remember, you can beat him. Long before everybody else figured it out. So that's just kind of how we've always done it.
Last question, guys. Last question.
I thought it was interesting that Mr. Prince brought up Russia and America and politics and all that, the presidents. Do you have any thoughts or opinions on that, on how that correlates between these two personalities in this fight, you being the American, him Russian?
I mean, like, personally for me, it's not, the political piece of it is not really, it's not really what I'm focused on, you know, but there's obviously, you know, natural parallel. You know, I think people are going to make the comparison. People even made the comparison about the Rocky movie with Drag Off. Yeah. So, like, people go, you know, and it's all good. Like, I don't mind people doing that, but personally, like, that's not my focus. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know, I've always represented the U.S. You know, I've always felt it, you know, very important to represent my country, whether I'm fighting somebody from the U.S. or not. And I'm a very patriotic person. That's always kind of been my thing. So I'm not too focused on it, but it's definitely there.
All right, thanks, guys.
I asked Kovalev earlier if he'd ever fought angry in his career, and he told me around the 5th or 6th round I was angry in the fight with you, and that's where he lost the fight, of course. An angry fighter, how does that affect the mindset of the fighter?
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. This is like, it's amazing to me, man. Like, the stuff this guy comes up with, like, it's amazing. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I'm serious. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I don't know if they're meeting about this stuff in the boardroom before they come out here, or if this is him coming. It's crazy. Like, it's like unreal. Like, you know when you hear something, and you say, man, I feel that. Like, I see where he's coming from. And then you hear something, and you're like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I had a lot. What? Like, for the past 4 months? Like, are you serious? Like, you lost me beyond just saying you felt you won the fight. All the other stuff. Oh, man.
How would you have handled the situation if the decision didn't go your way? I
wouldn't have been happy, but I try to be a man of integrity. I'm not going to make excuses about it. I'm going to say, look, man, I felt like I won, and this is why. I'm going to go on about my business. And obviously, I may have to repeat that a few times because I'm going to be getting interviewed and stuff, but I'm not going to I'm not going to start accusing the commission and killing. I'm not going to do that, man. It's not. I don't think they realize how they look when they do stuff like that, man. It's not a good look, man.
Andre, he said that 30 days before the fight he was out of gas, and 2, the 5th round.
Wait, 30 days?
30 days, yeah, 30 days.
A month
before the fight he was done, and by round 5 he said he had.
But what does that
left.
mean?
I'm asking. I don't know. That's what he just said.
He said he overtrained. It's like overtrained.
30 days before?
He said he had nothing left, but he couldn't tell the media.
I don't get it. I need to take a couple days off.
Did it feel like an overtrained Kovalev, or did you?
I don't know what an overtrained Kovalev feels like.
Overtrained fighter.
You do now, yeah.
But I mean, how do we know that that's true? I mean,